Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers of Teachers Danek YouTube channel. Welcome to another Learn English with Football show. And as always, I have got fantastic guests, and they are none other than Noop. Hi, Noop.
Yo, Zeniak. Hi.
How you doing?
All right. Yeah, much better now.
Good. This is Noop's Instagram, everyone. Then we've got Simon, who is making a comeback. Hi, Simon.
Yeah, coming back from injury, just working my way back to match fitness.
All right, cool. This is obviously Simon's Instagram, where he posts stuff about football and learning English. And last but not least, we have Marvin here as well. Hi, Marvin. What's with your name? Why is your name so long today?
Thank my parents. That's my real name, but my introduction must have Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. I thought I'd add that
No. Yes. I love it. I might invite you more often now.
Thank you.
This is Marvin's YouTube channel, Marvin Time.
That's my gaming channel.
Oh, it's your gaming channel.
Yeah.
How can my viewers find you? Are you also on Instagram? You are, right?
Yeah, but that's a different one. You'll find my Instagram at Marv Champ Life, all in one word. But my English language page is Genius Language School.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? Next time I have you on, I will start plugging that one instead.
I'm happy for you to plug this one.
Okay.
That's all good. Thanks, Ennett.
Okay, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. So, guys, there's plenty to talk about, obviously. You know what? Why don't we start with our heroes and villains of... No, first we need to start with what matches we actually watched. Yeah, that's the first one. Just a quick. We don't want to talk about the details yet, but let's just tell everybody what matches we have seen.
I obviously followed my passions and watched Liverpool win with definitely not a debatable penalty.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw that literally 30 minutes ago, yes. Was part of my research to prepare for this
against
show.
A Crystal Palace team who I'm growing to like and respect, which normally Crystal Palace are a sort of an anomaly. They're just a thing that exists, like vanilla ice cream. They're there, but you never choose them. But I've got a growing fondness for the football they're playing and the way they're playing. It's a big improvement on Woy, that's for sure.
Yep. No, they're great this season for sure. Marvin, you're muted, I believe.
Crystal Palace, very good for young players, though. Always got a nice history of the young players and talents coming through ones they take on. I mean, they've done it with a lot of them, like Moses, even Wan-Bissaka, Zaha. Now they've got more Eze, Elise, players like... I think they're a pretty nice team to watch. Even down the years, they've got nice... I quite like the club. I think they're a pretty good club.
Yep, that's fair. So, Marvin, which matches did you see?
I saw the Southampton, Man City, Man United, West Ham, and obviously my Chelsea game.
Okay, nice. Lots to talk about then. And what about you, Noop?
I watched Arsenal versus Burnley, Liverpool, Southampton, Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham. Yeah.
Okay. And I saw Arsenal, Burnley as well, unfortunately. Then also Manchester United, West Ham. I watched Chelsea, Tottenham, and I also saw bits from the Watford Norwich match. Oh, and there was one more match in midweek. Leicester, Tottenham. That was amazing as well. We might talk about that too.
They might make DVDs about that.
Absolutely. Very iconic what happened there. And let's go through our heroes of the week then. 1 second. Where is it? Is this one? No. That's the one. Okay, so who's your hero of the week, guys? Let's start with Simon again.
Well, I mean, tempted as I am to say Rafa, or undercover agent Benitez. I'll skip that one. I'm going to go with a story I didn't actually follow directly because it involves Scottish football, and let's be honest, it's an acquired taste. Apparently, because it Kelty Hearts part-timers beating the double defending champions in the Scottish Cup in the 13th minute of extra time. Got to love that kind of story, part-timers. It's got everything you want in a cup fixture. You kind of pray for these things to happen. Everyone loves a cup upset.
Like Nottingham Forest.
Did you have to, Marvin?
Sorry.
No, we were talking about cup upsets.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
You guys are absolute rebels. So this has nothing to do with the Premier League, but it's a Scottish Cup. You're talking about Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
Cup. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. You said tempted as I am to say Rafa. Is that what you said?
Yes. Tempted as I am.
To say Rafa. I like that. Obviously, we already discussed that last week with Noop and Paul and Leontes. I think some of us also gave this accolade, hero of the week, to Rafa for the reason he mentioned. But I want to look at this phrase, tempted as I am. Okay, this is really interesting for different reasons. So first of all, it's kind of inversion here, isn't it? Tempted as I am. It's kind of it's strange position of the verb there. But also to be tempted, it means like you kind of want to say it, but in the end you didn't say it, but you are tempted to say it. Yeah, you really find it hard to resist the temptation. Okay, good. Who is your hero of the week, Noop?
I would have to go with Bruno Lage, Wolves manager. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's only had one. I think he dropped like 2 points this week. Last week, and before that he's been on great form, 5 wins. And yeah, he's been really good in terms of defending, coaching, and I think I respect his way of football. And you can see, I think they are like 2 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah,
quite an impressive job.
Absolutely. I have to say that I looked at the form of last 5 matches of Wolves, and they have 1 draw there. Everything else wins. So yeah,
to be able to win against they won against, I think, United. They drew against Chelsea.
Yeah, we drew.
Yeah, they even won against West Ham. So
that's right.
Yeah, good job.
Yep. Okay, that's a nice one. How about you, Marvin?
I was torn between 2. I was going to go for some unsung heroes in the Chelsea game, for example, Malang Sarr. But you would only really understand that if you were in the Chelsea fan base. I think he played an opening few games, people were saying that who is this guy? He's not good. And now people are clamoring for him to play more games. But actually, no, my hero of the week is Armando Broja for Southampton, looking more and more like a solid player, age 20. Scored a pretty nice goal with his weak foot against City, didn't count, unfortunately, but was constantly a problem. He tore Diaz inside out. And for a 20-year-old player to do that, I'm very impressed. They've got some good players over there at Southampton, I think. And for me, he's a very underrated player. He's definitely worth more than wasting nearly 100 million on another player. I'm going to go with Armando Broja this week.
Yeah. Could you please tell me, Marvin? You said he turned someone inside out. Is that the phrase you use?
Turned Diaz inside out. Yeah.
How do you spell Diaz?
D-I-A-S. This one, I think.
D-I-A-S. Yeah. I really like this phrasal verb, to turn someone inside out. I think it's like to make a fool out of someone by being so good, basically.
Sending them lots of different directions, just turning their insides like, where am I going?
Exactly. And you get the better of that defender. You get past him, basically. You win that challenge.
It's getting better. He's getting better every week. And scarily, I think we might actually sell him. And I think he's definitely a growing player for sure. Keep watching him in the next coming weeks.
So you say we might sell him. Is he one of the Chelsea loanees?
Yeah, he's a loanee from the academy, and there was some talk about Southampton trying to take him on permanently. I would not be for this. I think it would be a terrible decision. And also West Ham, I've heard, are very much interested.
Speaking of this, wasn't there a rule change last week?
Yes.
Whereby a team is only allowed to loan out 6 players and have 6 players loaned.
I believe that's is that only in the Premier League?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the details, but this is what I heard. And I looked at. Yeah.
I know one detail about this, and that is that Chelsea already are actually compliant with this. And there are a lot of people jumping around saying, oh, they can't have their 500 players out on loan anymore. But apparently I don't know, but apparently they're already compliant with these rules, even this season. So not sure totally.
I don't know the details. I just, sort of noticed it. Did you guys?
No, I was just looking up. Apparently, it's not covering domestic loans, and they've got like 3 years to get their act together and sort things out. But yeah, it will be 6 loan signings and 6 loan exits per season, not including players under 21 or any club trained players, which in Chelsea's case is about half the footballing population of the world.
We have a lot less players out on loan than you think.
Let's be honest. This is aimed at teams that hoard players, young talented players.
I think all the big teams actually do this. That's the problem. All of the big teams do this quite a bit. If you look at how many players City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea actually have on loan, it's more than what they really should have. Although I think this is also a bad thing because there are young players that will never play unless they go out on loan.
Yeah.
And perhaps might never get spotted either because, if you're smart in the Premier League, the first thing you're going to do when you're shopping around, if you're on a budget, is have a look at some of the clubs Marv's just mentioned and say, right, who's this Gallagher kid? Who's this Brojo kid? Can we get them in? Rather than, it's almost like these clubs are kind of doing the legwork for you and finding these players. You don't have to go searching across the globe for them yourself. They're under your noses if you're prepared to look hard enough.
They would likely only play a handful of games at the club. Like if you're looking at I think is it Harvey Elliott?
Kidderminster.
Is that where?
You mean a player? You're talking about a player, yeah.
Harvey Elliott. There was, I think, Wilson. I don't know if they sold him permanently.
Yeah, he went on loan to Fulham and Cardiff, and I think Fulham bought him in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we would never see these players enough if in the big club. So I think they should consider that. I don't know the ins and outs of the rules because apparently the teams are already compliant. But I think if you're limiting it, I think the limit should be a bit higher than 6. But I don't know if that's only for the Premier League because I think that if Chelsea are compliant, I know they've got more than 6 players out on loan in the world right now. So I'm not totally sure on that.
Yeah. It was saying that it's going to exclude players under 21, and they're the most common ones to go on loan anyway, aren't they? So you could have plenty of under 18s to 21-year-olds still going out on loan, getting that experience, but still belonging to the club that's invested in them, I suppose.
All right. You said the teams are already compliant. So I'm looking at the adjective compliant, meaning the teams are already following the rules. They comply with the rules. Okay, very nice adjective. Noop, would Arsenal benefit from this in any way?
I don't think so. Not really, because we ourselves are having lots of young players. So
we wouldn't benefit from it. No?
Yeah, we wouldn't really. We'll be keeping lots of players. Yeah.
Okay, then. Thanks for that. And my hero of the week has to be, I thought I would give it to Bergwijn for that brace, for that late brace, which was epic. We can talk about it later when discussing Spurs. But to be honest, I have to give it to Josh Sargant.
Sargant, yeah.
Josh Sargant, yeah, because he scored 2 goals, and one of them was incredible. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was that scorpion kick that reminded me a lot of that goal that Olivier Giroud had scored. And Josh Sargant is a Norwich player, and that was a massive win for Norwich, beating Watford away from home 3-0. And this was actually, that scorpion kick is definitely, for me, is goal of the season contender. And not only that, it was also his first goal ever.
Amazing.
So,
I hope
did you see it, Marv?
I saw it. It's fantastic. And I think that's a good pick, actually, going with Sargent. I think it's probably a more balanced pick than all of our choices.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks.
No offense. Sorry, I didn't see what happened in the Scottish Cup. My bad. I didn't see.
Yeah. No, yeah. Thanks.
And just on that, Josh Sargent, apparently he's recently become a father as well, so he's done well to get enough sleep to be able to play, let alone perform like that.
And also, he's lucky to score these goals in the era of VAR, because it was one of those goals that, like Frank Lampard scored at the World Cup that was disallowed. Like one of those that nobody would probably spot had it not. Did we not have VAR? So thanks to VAR, not VAR, it's the goal line technology, actually, right? The goal line technology. So it was Mike Dean, our favorite referee, that
So Mike
got a signal from his watch, and yeah, it was immediately clear after 1 second. I like how this technology is working so well.
The goal line tech works very well. The VIR does not.
I agree. There's more to come, listeners or viewers, on that front when we discuss the penalty controversies. Okay, so let's go for the villains of the week now. So, Simon.
I'm going to be, I've got my finger on the pulse of the game, as you know. So I'm going to go with the Pozzo family, who apparently have just sacked Ranieri this evening.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, if you dislike football that much, just get out of the game. What have realistic ambitions? Okay, it's not going brilliantly. There's still plenty to play for in the relegation battle, and it doesn't take much if you put a few results together. I mean, I think the term poisoned chalice, I couldn't really decide if I'd dislike being the new Everton manager or the new Watford manager more. Both of those are on a hiding to nothing. Don't go shopping for houses. You're not going to be there that long. In fact, don't unpack, because it just seems counterproductive and counterintuitive. Who are they going to bring in? Really?
Big Sam.
Let's be honest. We are talking
the only
about
club he hasn't managed.
We're talking about a manager that had won the Premier League with Leicester City. Okay, arguably he hasn't been doing that well, because obviously he lost 11 matches out of 13.
Was it really that much?
Well, that's what I heard on
the
podcast today. So.
I didn't know that. He deserved the sack. 11 out of 13 games. They just lost to the team that can't buy a win. I mean, he deserved it. I mean,
actually, I take it back. I'm going to make Ranieri my villain.
I think they should not have sacked the previous guy, the one that got them promoted. I don't know why they should have stuck with that one.
I saw that match, actually, guys. I saw the Watford Norwich match, and it was an important match in terms of my ambitions in the fantasy league, which is so important for everyone, obviously.
Yeah,
because I had 2 Watford strikers up front, Dennis and King. One of them, and the reason I did that is because Watford, they have double game week now, which means that there's a great chance of getting a lot of points. But one of them got sent off. Dennis got sent off in that match. So not only did he not score any goals or produce any assists. He got sent off, so he's not going to play in that second match because he's now obviously out. And then the other one, King, was not really a king at anything. He didn't do any good there in that match. And Norwich, 3-0. Noop, what do you think about that? A fantastic result for Norwich, away from home.
I didn't expect that. And that too, Watford got a red card as well. I didn't.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I mean, no
the
words.
Performance.
They were-
Ranieri.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They need to play Burnley instead, I think. I'm sorry, guys. I'm playing.
It's all right. It's all right. You're on fire.
We probably lose to Burnley, believe me.
Anyone can lose to Burnley.
Yeah.
They have four games in hand. So we're talking about. Wait, we are doing the villains of the week. So, whose turn is it now to say their villain of the week?
Narup hasn't picked, I think.
Sure, I can speak. For me, it would be the referee, the
Which
common
one?
villain, the one that we had in the Burnley game. I think he was terrible. I think Burnley must have had at least 2 red cards. Their goalkeeper, oh my God, he was wasting time. And the tackles they had,
Oh
did you
yeah,
see
the
them?
time wasting, that was so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. I think Burnley must have had lost like 2-3 players easily. They were terrible, and I think the referee was quite soft with them. Yeah.
It's because of the name, I think, a lot of the time. Like Burnley will be allowed a bit more fouling leniency than a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
I didn't see the game. So.
Arteta was really going insane on the touchline. He was so animated. Yeah, animated means he was making a lot of wild gestures, let's say, very lively, animated. And the reason for it is because he thought that the Burnley goalkeeper had been time wasting, which was obviously true. But it was so blatant that like the referee, it's interesting that the referee didn't care about it at all, because normally at least he might have given the player at least a warning or something, but he just went with it. Anyway, Marvin, who's your villain of the week?
Now, it's really tough between whoever the hell awarded Diogo Jota that penalty. The referee in the Chelsea game, which the comment, and also I would say Gary Neville is going to be my villain of the week, because he talked for ages about an absolutely clear as day shove on Thiago Silva as not a foul, when that Oliver Skip player was hugging and wrestling Azpilicueta to the ground, and no one said a thing. There was a boot, I think it's Doherty, stepped on the ankle of Sarr, and they VAR checked it and still didn't even give us at least a free kick when it was an absolute red card all day. And there was the referees in those 2 games. There was the referee in another game. I don't, which one did I watch? Southampton City one was fine. Might have been the Man U West Ham game, but the quality of, and also VAR. So I'm going to go with Gary Neville this week for the villain of the week. His bias on the Sky Sports newsroom has got to stop.
Yeah, well, for me, it's again the inconsistency, because to be honest, it was a bit dodgy what happened with Harry Kane as well. Like, I'm not his biggest fan, you know that, guys.
He's a good player.
I'm not his biggest fan, but there was a goal. Like, Spurs scored a goal, and it was ruled out because Harry Kane had pushed a player before that goal. He wasn't the guy that scored the goal, I think. But the thing is, something similar happened in that Norwich game right before that scorpion kick. Forgot the name of the guy who scored that goal. Sargant, yeah.
Sargant.
And it was the same thing.
And
in one case, it's ruled out, and in the other case, it's not. So I just don't understand, right? The inconsistency. It's just mind-boggling.
I think going back to was it Doherty who said, or Skip, who was wrestling someone to the ground?
Yeah,
I mean,
Skip.
Corners are just a joke now, aren't they? I mean, you could give at least 6 penalties every corner pretty much these days.
Sometimes I wouldn't give the penalty if they just got the hand there, or they
there's got to be some contact, but the wrapping around, and it
was insane,
ludicrous. And that, I mean, it was a strong rugby tackle, let alone a foul in football, you know.
Well, I've just had a look at the Sargant goal.
Yeah,
there is not exactly.
It's Temo Pukki. That's Temo Pukki.
It's potentially a foul.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Harry Kane didn't do much either. He just pushed him a little bit. He's just a big bloke, you know.
I think the idea is though that if you've pushed someone, they've gone straight to the floor after, even if it is a slight nudge, it's in the back. You're both fast, and he's gone on the ground, and he scored because of it. Whereas I think this one with Norwich, a lot still has to be done for the goal to be scored. So I think there is slightly a little bit of leniency.
All right, fair enough. I also like the phrase you used when you said it was an absolute red card all day. So basically this means that it was totally a red card. There was no way this could have been anything else. It was 100% red card. When you say all day, it's just a way to emphasize the fact that it was a red card. There's also sometimes I hear people say all day long as well. All day or all day long. I think it's quite informal, this. All right. And my villain of the week. Don't know. Thought I would give it to VAR, but that's lame. Claudio Ranieri has already been mentioned. So I'm going to give it to David Moyes for parking the bus against a really weak Manchester United side who played really poorly in that match. And David Moyes, just conservative tactic as ever, not rotating any players, always playing the same players all the time. I just feel like David Moyes has to make a change to the way he does things these days. Like as you guys know, I have a soft spot for West Ham, and David Moyes has been brilliant for West Ham. Yeah, but some of the things he does these days are a bit worrying.
Do you think there was an element of him not wanting to lose at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
Especially as he's on a bit of a return to form as a manager. You know, to go back there with a strong squad, it's like the last thing he wants to do, frankly, is lose that game, which, is a bit defeatist given the qualities of that team in itself.
I just thought that game was such a poor game overall. It was just boring, so boring. 3 games that were boring for me. The West Ham Manchester United one, the Arsenal Burnley one, well, no question about that. And I have to say, at least the first half of the Chelsea Spurs game, boring. Yeah, horrible. So I was actually quite disappointed with some of these matches.
Second half was a good game, though, I think. But the first half was a bit slow. I agree.
Yeah, well, we can move on to that if you want. Let's discuss. Let's discuss your teams, guys. So Chelsea. So we've already mentioned that penalty shout. So there was a potential. Disallowed goal. It was a disallowed goal, right?
The Kane one was disallowed. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously that changed the complexion of the game. Other than that, as you said, improved second half, Marvin. Yeah.
Yes, much improved. And of course, we had the magic of Ziyech on the right in his actual position and with that incredible goal.
Oh, wow. That was a brilliant goal. Another goal of the season contender. Would you agree?
Definitely. I hope that he will. The problem is we play a system that doesn't suit the way he plays. So that's why I think he doesn't look so good in a lot of games. But when we put him in his proper position in this match, and he was unplayable, especially in that second half. He should have scored again straight after that. He fizzed a ball that kind of curled, but Lloris made an incredible save.
Yeah. Hakim is his name. Hakim Ziyech.
Hakim
Ziyech. Yeah, he was brilliant for Chelsea. we have to talk about Lukaku, Marvin. What's happening? I even remember you messaging me saying that I think I congratulated you on winning the game, and your response was, considering we played with 10 men, we did quite well.
Very well.
I immediately knew what you meant, because I knew there was no send-off or anything. So it was obvious that you were referring to Lukaku. What's
Absolutely.
going on?
Well, as I told you many years ago when we first become friends, I didn't rate the player even when he was at Everton. I've never rated the player. I don't think he has any form of technical level. He can score a few goals, but never when they're important or when they're truly needed. And he's cost his teams a lot. Super Cup final, missed a penalty. FA Cup final for Man United, turned up, missed an open goal. Played for Everton in the semi-final, missed a penalty and 3 open goals. Played for Inter and won the league. There were no competition. The second place team was Atalanta. I don't think they've ever won in their life. For me, it was the biggest waste of money. And I would normally say, the biggest waste of money is Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho, because those players aren't good.
Speaking of which, it wouldn't be Leontes without mentioning Harry Maguire in our Learn English with Football show.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Leontes, he was here last week. He's a Manchester United fan.
Yeah, Maguire is the worst signing of all time in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Absolute worst. He can barely even, like Lukaku, he can barely even kick the ball. And I don't understand how a person who can't even run in a straight line has cost nearly 100 million. Like, I love Chelsea and I've always been, and I'll support Lukaku, of course. I hope he scores and I hope he does well, but it was like playing with 10 men. The ball bounces off him and goes back to the other team. He had an open goal in the first minute that he sent into orbit. The guy needs to go. We have to just cut our losses and change him for Brodger next season or whatever. We need technical players in our team. We're a very technical team. You look at the players, we've got Jorginho, Kovacic, and you look at your forwards, we've got Pulisic, players that like the ball to feet, good with the ball, shifting it across, switching sides, Mason Mount as well, Ziyech, all Havertz, technical. And you've just plonked a big 300-pound lump in the middle of it. And as a result, we play worse football.
Yeah, you said he doesn't run in a straight line. Are you sure they are not putting anything in his drink, like at halftime or something like that, or before the match?
They should.
Well, I mean, they might be. I think he cannot run in a straight line. You saw it in the last game. He ran the ball straight out of play. I mean, honestly, I lose my mind. You should see me watching the games. I'm literally just sitting with my hands over my face.
The only swap deal Lukaku would consider is anything involving Conte. He's made it fairly clear he wants to be Conte's adopted son or something.
I wish we could do a swap for Harry Kane or actually take him for 60 million.
Cracker, wouldn't it?
I would do this.
That would get the Sky Sports transfer centre buzzing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I
would for Lukaku.
I would definitely do it. And I think that's our best hope in the summer, is that Conte still likes Lukaku. That's our only hope, or we're stuck with him for 4 years. And that's bad.
Do you know what I think? I think it might actually result in Tottenham being good somehow, because that's just what happens in football sometimes.
Never going to happen.
You never know. He could
Despite
go on fire.
Lukaku.
He might score a couple of goals, but they're not winning anything.
No, we are not taking Lukaku at Arsenal, are we?
Come on the room.
Well, I mean, if he decides to lower his wages and if he goes for free, yeah, I would.
Not a free transfer. A cheap
Lad's
deal.
young, he's fit. We need someone who's physical. So, yeah, at least he's not brittle like Aubameyang. So he's okay.
Obama is a much better player.
I mean, he used to be, but not anymore. So, yeah, I think I would go for Lukaku.
Okay, I like this one, Nook, this adjective. He's not brittle as Aubameyang, or like Aubameyang. So brittle means fragile, So if you try to push Lukaku, he's not going to fall apart.
I don't know. Did you see the game on Sunday? If you nudge him, he'll go to ground.
Well, was he trying to win a foul or something, or a penalty?
I think he might have been trying to run, to be honest.
Okay, we are giving Lukaku a lot of stick here.
Do you think it's money? Even in today's game, that's still That's an insane amount of money for someone who the fans clearly don't rate and isn't dragging his ample weight around. But
Yeah.
he ought to be the best striker on the planet. He's
He
got
should be.
everything going for him, but I
What
think
was
he
the
believes
amount?
his own press.
What was the amount he went to Chelsea? Can you remind me, guys?
I think it is 97 million. And for a player that cost this money, Pogba flopped, but at least Pogba has a huge amount of technical ability. If you're talking about players you pay that much money for, they have to have an incredible technical level. I'm thinking about players like Neymar and Mbappe. I know they're a little bit more than 100 million you'd have to pay to get them, but not somebody who can barely kick a ball for that much money. It was just a tap-in stat padder for that much money.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So Pogba flopped. To flop pretty much means to fail. Not to live up to the expectations, let's say. Leontes says that Pogba is excellent in my FIFA United team.
He's good in real life. He's just at the wrong club.
Okay. It looks like at some point it looked like Chelsea and Liverpool might struggle and it was no longer the top three, but now again it feels like it's gonna be like that. Simon's team won as well against Crystal Palace, right? 3-1, wasn't it?
Yep, very happy with that result. Obviously, we'll get to the third goal at some point, and we might just touch upon it briefly.
Yeah, let's go.
In the same way
penalty
that Jota touched upon the goalkeeper briefly.
How could they award a penalty for that?
It's disappointing.
Liverpool.
You know, he's a better player than that as well. You know,
where can the goalkeeper go? Like, what can the goalkeeper do in that situation?
It'll turn into basketball if it carries on like this, where, you know,
mad.
every bit of physical contact is punishable. Yeah, I mean, I think in some ways, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but it's a sort of a backhanded compliment to Palace because it was 2-1. They were clearly coming back into the game. We were hanging on. Alisson had earned his salary again. Got us out of trouble a couple of times. It could easily have been 4-2 to Palace. So I think in some ways it's not excusable at all. But what Jota did was really an act of desperation in some ways. Because although we were ahead and there wasn't that much time left, you know, the way it was going, you know, Palace were certainly in the game. And the situation with the table as it is at the moment, you know, then the Southampton result as well. Already it's you know, a sign of, though they won't come out and admit it, sort of a sense that the title race is it's
still
pretty
on?
much done and dusted, you know.
Well, they drew. The City drew. So is it still on?
I mean, mathematically, it's not 10 points or 11 points, you know, that. But you're talking about
Man City
having
losing
to go on one of those runs that we've been on before. It's doable, but I'm certainly not going down the bookies and putting any money on it. That's for sure.
It's not
City
very
are just relentless. They're like the All Blacks, you know, in rugby. They go out and say, we'll be coming off with a result here. And they do. And I think the Southampton, I feel sorry for whoever City play next. They'll probably batter them.
Yeah, that's a good phrase. They'll probably batter them. Batter someone means to destroy someone, basically.
Yeah.
Hammer. There's another one, to hammer someone, right?
Yeah, it's a thrash.
Yeah, to thrash as well. Batter, Batter, right?
Yep.
Batter. Okay. They'll probably batter them. Yeah, that's right. Hopefully they're not playing Arsenal, Noop.
Yeah. I'm fine. No depression.
Okay, so it looks like City are going to win the title. Then there are these two teams, Liverpool, Chelsea. We've got two fans representing these clubs here. I think it's between these two clubs. And then there is a battle for the fourth spot, which I believe is going to already is very. It's going to be and already is interesting. Roop, who do you favor for the 4th spot?
I would still vouch for Arsenal. We haven't had our midfield. We haven't done any signings yet, but I think Arteta already has something in his mind in terms of strikers. So yeah, I think after the winter transfer window ends, and if we have some quality signings, yeah, I would vouch for Arsenal. But with the current squad, yeah, it's going to be difficult. It has to be the team that is most consistent and not the most. I think the team has to be the most consistent one for the 4th position. And West Ham and Arsenal, I think they are pretty much on the same level. Right when they need the points, they'll drop it. And Tottenham and Man United, they are the ones that are basically hiding and then just popping up out of nowhere. But it's okay. I mean, look, we still have we have only played 21 games, so it's okay. We face Wolves next in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, we'll get our midfield back. And maybe I hope we sign a quality striker. I'm vouching for Isak.
Lukaku, yeah. I knew you would say that.
Yeah, but I think our aim should be Isak, or I'm not sure about Vlahovic.
He's not going there. He's too good. He's not going to Arsenal. No chance.
I mean, you never know. The Fiorentina president, he has said that there's one English team that has inquired about Vlahovic, but yeah, I wouldn't have him at Arsenal. Not really the player.
No, you don't like Vlahovic? I think he's.
I don't think he would be for Arsenal because we need someone who's good with the ball as well and
it's good.
Can carry. Compared to compared to Alexander Isak, I think.
I like Isak.
I like Isak. I think he has more. He's more technical than Vlahovic.
Okay, guys. Speaking of Arsenal, are you aware that there's a channel, Arsenal Fan TV? Have you heard about it, guys?
Of course.
It's quite famous for all different reasons, and I happen to have watched one video from there, and there was a player, there was a fan that was sort of defending Arsene Wenger. Not Arsene Wenger, Arteta. It was quite funny because he was comparing what's happening to Arsenal to a virus. He made an interesting analogy. So he said that Arsenal got infected with a virus during the reign of Arsene Wenger. Then there were different variants of the virus, like the Adebayor variant, the Bentner variant, and the worst of the variants, the most contagious one, like the Omicron one, was Ozil. Yeah. And apparently, according to this fan, Arteta is the vaccine for this virus. I love that video. It was so funny.
I met Robbie at the Community Shield game. Can't remember the year. But
really?
It was where Courtois took a penalty and put it over.
Robbie is the person behind the Arsenal Fan TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Arteta the vaccine for this virus or against this virus, Noop?
I don't even think these viruses are even worth mentioning. Ozil, I don't think he was a virus. Yeah, he gave us a title. Come on, after such a long time. So, yeah, I think he's just trying to sound poetic, but it's AFTV. I think they are the virus. I think that is the virus that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
Very contagious.
It's the same as the Chelsea content creators as well. They are there.
Do you have something like that at Liverpool, Simon?
I mean, Liverpool fans are known to have an opinion on certain matters every now and then, and to be quite confident in their own opinions, shall we say. I don't have time for that. Life's too short to engage in those things. They're the people you find in the pub, aren't you? That you
Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm actually quite honored you say that, because that means you have time for us here. And
quality, not quantity.
It makes us feel special now, I'm sure.
I only want to play in the top flight fixtures. Don't put me in the cup matches.
Yeah, I like this expression, top flight. Yeah, top flight, the highest level. top flight football. We use it in collocation. Top flight football, the highest level. Yeah, the Premier League, and so on. Fantastic.
We had a question. Sorry, we missed a question about if we heard the rumor about Suarez going to Aston Villa. How crazy would that be?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. So that's Maxim. Oh yeah, that would be again basically Steven Gerrard reuniting with one of the players he played with. Am I right?
Yeah. Very productively.
Awesome player. My God, that year of Suarez, one of the best. Absolutely incredible footballer.
Yeah, I remember some matches were really nail-biting experience, and not just nail-biting.
I see where you're going here. Neck biting, shoulder biting.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a vampire. Luis Suarez is a bit of a vampire, isn't he?
But he don't suck.
Very good.
He is a very good player. He's even good now. I would have taken him over Lukaku.
I'm actually playing Football Manager right now, Football Manager 22, and he's 39 years old, and he's still scoring goals in the game.
Not
so,
you know, there's a guy playing out in Japan, Kazu Miura, King Kazu.
Yeah.
He's is he 57, 52? Yeah. And he's just been he's still playing like championship level over there. he when I worked over there, he was getting on a bit then, and that was a long time ago. But I mean, to be getting a contract, let alone playing in your 50s,
amazing,
insane.
Amazing.
Yeah, he was getting on a bit then. It means he was getting old. Basically,
he was old. It's a fairly polite way to say he was already old. Yeah,
that's the wrong comment. Yes. So if you say someone is getting on a bit, it means that person is getting a bit too old for what they are doing. Let's say I was getting on a bit 5 years ago. I should have hung up my boots back then. Somehow I continued playing for 5 more years, and it was a nightmare.
I can imagine Suarez in his 60s or his 70s, and he'll still be going down the local five-a-side and getting banned.
Yeah,
and kicked out for just fighting or arguing with the ref or diving. It's never going to change.
Hang on, I have an important question. Noop, you are a future doctor. You are studying medicine. So, at what age do you start losing teeth?
At what age? I mean, it depends really. I've seen people who are in their 40s and they already start losing their teeth because of habits. But yeah,
I feel like this is an important question.
60s probably, I think.
To be answered when talking about Suarez, obviously.
Suarez, I don't think he'll ever lose teeth. He's fresh. Yeah.
Do you think he will ever bite again? How many times did he do it?
I think it's 3.
Doesn't matter. I mean, it's okay.
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. He's just passionate about the game.
There are really cool videos on 4 Tunes. Do you guys know the creator? Check out 4
yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen the 4 Tunes.
4 Tunes. I think it's something like this, right? It's a YouTube. No, too many O's. Hang on. 4 Tunes. So funny. Something like this. Yeah, just check it out. It's a channel. It's a YouTube channel. Funny videos, funny animated videos. Great for learning English as well. And you will find Luis Suarez there for sure. It's like a parody on football, basically. Should we mention Spurs? At least a bit. I mean, did you guys see that brace that Bergwijn scored?
Yeah, very bad.
Midweek. Marvin.
Yes, I saw a very bad defending. I mean, yeah, they got a late goal. It was nice. I think a lot. It's been made a bit more than what it is, considering they've gone from like 6th to 6th. And I mean, if that was me and that was Chelsea, and we were just gone from 6th to 5th, I wouldn't have barely even talked about it the next day. I'd be like, well, that's great, good comeback, let's kick on now. But they didn't kick on. They come to play us and they were terrible again. So what does it really mean? I mean, good goals from Bergwijn, sure, but he's still an average player. That's not going to change with 2 goals.
But it was a big moment, just scoring 2 goals to turn it round in the 95th and 96th minutes.
The same like Lucas Moura when they played.
How often does this happen, you know?
Well, it happened to them in the Champions League as well, but they didn't win. So, and they're still talking about it now as if it would deliver the biggest trophy of their life, and they still lost. So,
they're Spurs. What do you expect? Yeah. Simon, did you see the goals?
Yeah, I did, and just sort of continue what Marv was saying there. I mean, Tottenham are in that sort of funny place. Liverpool, as a Liverpool fan, we were in sort of the 90s under Suarez and Evans and people like that, where we still feel we're really important, and we've got recognizable names in the squad and certain things that are attractive about the squad or the team, and moments that make it to the DVDs. If anyone can remember what DVDs are, those of you watching this, but ultimately fairly insignificant. You know, you turn into a 5th to 9th team. You know, I mean, going back to what you said earlier about who might make 4th spot. I mean, Nurup was talking about Wolves and how well they're doing. You know, they got more. I'd have more money on Wolves than Spurs at the moment doing anything. Spurs are just lost.
Spursy. They are Spursy.
Well, you know, when North London teams build expensive stadiums, it tends not to work out too well for a while, does it?
Yeah, especially if they look like a toilet.
Oh, yeah, my God. It does look nice, though, the Spurs Stadium, if you look at it, right? They've done a good job on that one. But, again, wasn't that supposed to give them more money to buy more players? And they're still... I think they just have not really improved their squad. They've lost good players. Like, for example, the best player they had, in my opinion, was Moussa Dembele. And he was I think it was called Musa. I might have got that wrong. But I know the strikers also got that name. But his was very good. And then I didn't like Eriksen that much, but he was a good creator. And now they've lost their only creator. So, and they haven't replaced them. I mean, what came after that? Højbjerg. He was as bad as Lukaku. They haven't replaced with good players. They've taken a few risks, like with Brian Hill, who I quite like, but he hasn't done anything. So the signings they've made have not really improved the team. Doherty.
Well, their best signing is, let's be honest, their best signing is Antonio Conte.
Yeah, and even he's struggling. Even he's tired of being there already, and it's been about 3 weeks.
But
there's not much light at the end of the tunnel for Spurs at the moment, is there? They're in trouble of just becoming meh, you know.
They should have sold Kane. If they'd have sold Harry Kane in the summer, they would have had 150 million or something, 100 and something million that they could have used at least on 2 top players. They could have taken a risk somewhere in the striker area, but they still would have had Son, who I don't rate that much, but he still scores goals. They still would have had. They could have had 2 more players in really areas they needed to improve, like their defense or their midfield, and they haven't. They just haven't done it.
They haven't got an identity, you know. No. I mean, I think, Marv, what you're saying about Chelsea and having all these technical, quick, interchangeable players, that's definitely noticeable, you know. And Arsenal like to play good football, you know. Liverpool have this sort of relentless drive and sort of non-stop, you know, approach to things.
Great press.
And lots of clubs have got their own identity. Even Burnley, you know, Burnley have got their identity, you know. Norwich have got a philosophy. Lots of clubs have got an attitude or a philosophy, and they recruit accordingly, and they succeed mostly depending on their budget, really, and the success of that recruitment and luck a lot of the time. But with Spurs, I don't know what the vision is. I mean, I'd love them to have great ball-playing midfielders and say, do you know what? We're the club of Ardiles and Hodon. I mean them as managers as well as players. We want to lose 6-5 every week. But we're going to play glorious football. Højbjerg.
Yeah, I like this. And I think it sums up what you guys have been talking about. There's not much light for Spurs at the end of the tunnel. which is a nice idiom. If there's not light at the end of the tunnel, it means there's not much hope for Spurs. So they're talking about some sort of difficult situation, difficult period. And usually you're hoping that things will pick up, that things will get better, but you're hoping for that light at the end of the tunnel. But you are saying that there's not much light for them, which is obviously something Noop will be happy about.
I mean, I don't really see Spurs as our ultimate rivals, but yeah, it's okay. I think after Son and Harry Kane leaves, I think they might end up just like Everton or something.
Yeah.
There's nothing much, just big signings, new stadium. That's it. Changing managers every 2 seasons.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we have about 1 minute left to talk about the Arsenal-Burnley game. And I left it to the last moment because there's nothing to talk about. Noop, is there?
Not really. I mean, it was really a frustrating game. Burnley were being themselves. And even though they didn't have much of the possession, they were really they looked really comfortable. And hats off to them to get 2 points. And Arsenal, classic issue. We need a striker, a lethal striker. And
So it's interesting. Sorry, Marvin. What's that?
That was a symbol of a number 9 they can get from a rival club.
So Burnley let Chris Wood go, right? He was playing for them. So that's one of the big signings that Newcastle got, the richest club in the world, alongside Kieran Trippier. But they did really well, and they are bottom of the league, Burnley, at the moment, but they have 4 games in hand. So they can still make it. All right, guys, anything to say at the end of the show?
Looking forward to the Carabao Cup final.
Yes, come on, let's get it.
I think we all are, aren't we? Surely
Yeah.
we've all got that on the calendar, yeah?
Yeah.
Your sound is gone, Zdenek. I can't quite catch your response.
Something with the microphone. It's not working,
Yeah,
guys.
I know.
Can you hear me?
Technical issue.
Can you hear me? Technical issues. Unfortunately, we have to end the show here. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you. And if you do like this show, please give us a thumbs up. Tell everyone about this show. Please share. And thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you, Zenek.
All this banter,
Yes, man.
I love it. And guys, take care.
take care, man.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.